Hello there, and welcome to Horizon Online Episode 7. Now there's going to be 3 races in this video, and the first 2 show my improvements when it comes to dealing with pressure, which is what I talked about in Episode 4, so if you want more background on that, go and see that video. However, the last race is just a quick cat and mouse game with myself and Drakov, where we're outnumbered against 3 other racers. I hope you enjoy the racing, but today I'm going to respond to a question I received a few weeks ago about how to improve on Forza Horizon. Now, this isn't just going to be specific to Horizon, and it will be applicable to other racing games, and it is by no means going to be an in-depth guide on how to race. I am hoping, however, that I will be able to give some decent and useful tips to you in order to help you basically help yourself improve. So how do you go about becoming a better racer? Well, the key thing initially is to understand the racing line. Knowing how to get round a corner in the shortest possible time will make you so much quicker it's unreal. Now, as an example of a racing line, take this section coming up. You'll notice that on each corner I move to the outside of the racetrack before turning in and getting as close to the inside of the corner, which incidentally is called the apex, as I can, carrying the speed back out to the outside as I exit. So for example, before a left-handed corner, I move to the right and end up on the right after I've exited it. Now the reason that this is quicker than just turning in when you get to the corner and paying no attention to your positioning is because you're able to carry a lot more speed through the corner. You're essentially trying to make the corner as straight as possible. If you're going off the track or hitting walls, you're going too fast, and if you're not driving the racing line, you're going too slow. Try to just lap around a track and pay attention to where you position your car for every corner. You'll quickly find that your times will decrease even without realising it, as you're able to carry more speed safely through the corner. Now the next thing to consider is your braking into the corner. If you brake too late, you'll either miss the corner entirely or turn in whilst going too quickly, ending up with you in the wall. However, if you brake too early, you'll be losing time to others who are doing it right. And the correct way to do it is to brake at the exact point which allows you to turn into the corner, hit the apex and not go off the track on the exit as quickly as possible. And the only way to know that when this point is to try it out. Brake at a certain point, and if you end up going too quickly in your approach to the corner, brake a little bit earlier on the next lap. It's all trial and error basically. Making use of braking points, which are parts of the scenery which you could take a mental note of, will also help you, since if you find a braking point which is right for your car, all you need to do is brake when you pass that point and you'll get the corner right every single lap. Now it could be argued that the racing line assist pretty much tells you everything that I've just said. It gives you the line to take through a corner and tells you when to brake. The only problem is that it's rarely correct, and it should be the first thing you turn off once you even partially understand what a racing line is. It's much better to develop your own racing lines which are quickest for you and your car than to rely on some computer program to do it for you. And now that we're on the topic of assists, these are the things that you need to be getting rid of basically. Overall, you're going to be much quicker without assists than you are with them. If you can drive a car well without assists, then you're probably already in the top 5 or 10% of people on any racing game, so that's really what you need to aim for. So I'm going to go through the order which I believe is best when it comes to getting rid of assists, as well as give a few quick tips on how to handle the car once you've got rid of them. So as I just said, the racing line is really the first assist that you want to do without. Then should come any kind of stability management or beginner type assist. Without something like this, your feel and understanding of the car will be a lot better, and you can use that to help your racing line and braking points. In the end, the 3 assists that you should be left with are automatic gears, ABS and traction control. You should definitely get used to having all the other assists off before tackling these. And in my opinion, the order which I mentioned is the order in which you need to turn these last 3 off. Manual gears is a must if you want to improve your times, so get rid of those automatic gears first. When you do, it's going to feel very different to what you're used to, as you're going to now have to concentrate on changing gears. This will likely be the one that takes the longest to get used to, but once you do, you will reap big rewards. Remember to try to only glance at the rev counter and use the sound of the engine to let you know when to change gears. The more that you race on a certain track and with a certain car, the better you'll get, as the gears you need to be in will remain the same, so it's just a case of remembering them for every corner. The next thing to turn off should be ABS. Remember that when you do this, braking too hard will lock up the wheels and actually slow you down less, and you won't be able to turn whilst braking. You'll have to practice pulling the trigger a certain amount initially, then letting it go gradually as you turn. Finally, you should get rid of traction control. Now this is the opposite of turning ABS off, in that you'll have to practice putting the acceleration on gradually until you're up to speed so that your wheels don't spin. For some of the more powerful cars you may have to turn it back on again, as even I do that sometimes with big R1 and R2 cars on Forza Motorsport, but as long as you can drive most cars without traction control you'll be doing good. Now that is a lot to do, and it is going to take a rather long time to get used to all of it, depending on the point you're at currently of course. But the most important thing to remember is that every time you turn off an assist, get comfortable with driving without it before you turn off another one. Don't try and turn everything off all at once, as it will be a disaster. However, in time you'll gradually get used to racing without an assist, and when you do, try taking another one off. Eventually you'll get to a point where you're driving most cars without any assists at all, following the racing line to perfection and braking exactly when you need to. Your lap times will be so much quicker, and you'll be able to focus on the finer aspects of racing. And what I mean by that are things like smoothness, precision, repetition, consistency and racing ability. However, that's another subject entirely, so we'll leave that for another day. So I hope some of you have found what I've said useful. If you have, let me know, and if any of you have any specific questions about racing games and how to improve, feel free to drop them in the comments section too, and I'll do my best to answer them. Also let me know if you'd like to see a much more in-depth tips and tricks series, as it's something I might consider doing if people want it. But that's me done for now. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.